Are you thinking about going to law school? Are you just fascinated with the legal universe and how things work? I am a law student in the state of California and I am in my second year. Subscribe, like, and share my videos, and I promise you're going to have a good time.
Hello out there, everybody. This is the Mass Law Student, and welcome to my YouTube page. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also, you can follow me on Instagram. My name is the Mass Law Student, and the link will be in the description of this video. Let's get started with this presentation. All right, so in this presentation, we are going to talk about common law and what it is and why common law is used in law school. Prior to going to law school, I heard about common law, but I wasn't quite sure, what it was. So we're going to dive into it and talk about it. I distinctly remember it was my first trimester in law school, and one of my classes was criminal law. And I remember the professor, she was very sharp, very smart, but she kept talking about common law, and then she would go and talk about modernly and then come back to common law, go back to modernly and come back to common law. And I was just confused, like, what is this common law that she's talking about? I just need these answers. What is it? So to give a really, really brief overview and summary of what common law is essentially judge-made law. So judges way back in the day, back in England, even since the Middle Ages, you would have judges that would rule on cases. And it was the judge's responsibility to write out these different rules, regulations, and parameters that people had to abide by and abide within. So the judges were the ones that was responsible for letting us know what we could do and what we could not do. And this goes way, way back in the day. Again, like I said, the Middle Ages, and our founding fathers in this country utilized this system, common law, and that's what shaped our legal system in America. So after a few classes of constantly and continuously hearing about common law, I just started thinking about, how can I understand this, trying to produce a way to understand the concept of common law. Because as I've said in, different videos, I love analogies, because if I can put it into an analogy or explain it, then that means that I sufficiently understand it. So I was just racking my brain, just trying to figure out, how do I wrap my mind around common law? After constantly thinking and thinking and thinking, something just happened and I just finally figured it out. I was jumping for joy. I was excited because this was like my first real, challenge, in law school, trying to figure out this concept, because early on in criminal law, you learn about, common law and, NPC, etc. So I was ecstatic when I found out that, okay, I believe I got it. So, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to find out what I came up with to understand common law? Can I get a little fake drum roll, or just imagine a drum roll in your mind? Well, I came up with barbecue sauce. Common law is like barbecue sauce. I'm going to qualify what I'm saying in the next slide so that way you don't think I'm on drugs. Ladies and gentlemen of this distinguished YouTube jury, I ask that you lend me your ears as I qualify my theory as it relates to common law and barbecue sauce being the same or being connected. So generally speaking, when you think about barbecue sauce, you generally, for the most part, are going to have either a tomato base or a ketchup base. And no matter what flavor you come up with, sweet and tangy, spicy, extra spicy, whatever it may be, it all started from a base. So just remember that no matter what the flavor is in the end, it all started with that base, which is generally either a tomato base or a ketchup base. All right, as we continue on, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to continue with qualifying my theory. So each jurisdiction has its own flavor. Now, when I say jurisdiction, I'm talking about states and jurisdictions that fall under the United States of America. So each jurisdiction has the autonomy to pick or make their own barbecue sauce, aka laws, statutes. So each jurisdiction, they're going to have their own way of doing things. They have that right as long as it doesn't conflict with the Constitution or other federal laws. Hey, they're able to make whatever flavor barbecue sauce, aka law statutes, that they choose. It can be sweet, tangy, sweet and spicy, whatever it is, they can do it. Now let's drive this home, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. You got to make sure you remember, yes, jurisdictions have their own flavor as it relates to laws, but no matter what flavor each jurisdiction has, it started with a base, and that base is common law. So when we go back to that slide where we talked about the base for your barbecue sauce, tomato, or ketchup base, think of common law in that same regard. So although each jurisdiction has their own flavor, has their own way of doing things, it still was derived from a base or a base barbecue sauce, and they doctored it up to their liking. See, isn't that kind of cool? Now, it took me a few days to figure this out, but once I figured it out, I was just over the moon. And I remember when I asked this of, my professor in class one night, and I was like, I gave this analogy and I said, does this make sense? Is this correct? And the room was silent. And then she thought for a second or two, and then she was like, you know what? That's a really good analogy. That's really, really good. So once she said that and I got her stamp of approval, I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm good. So now, after going over this presentation, now you can get a better understanding of why teaching common law principles is the safest and most consistent way of teaching the law to law students. There's just no way that you could, teach all the flavors that, each jurisdiction has and put it into this big old pot. And there's just no way. But the safest way is to teach from the base barbecue sauce, because no matter what flavor the jurisdiction chooses, it still all came from common law. And common law is your base or your base barbecue sauce. So that's why it's the safest way to teach it. Now, that wasn't so bad. It took me a few days to get it, but I got it. And I'm good. Ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube jury, let me submit this to you. This has to be hands down probably the best video on YouTube, at least in the United States, concerning the breakdown and explanation of common law. I've looked through so many different videos and they were all boring. They didn't really explain things. They just kind of just made it even more abstract. But I took the time to break this down to where somebody that's not even law school can understand this. And I take pride in that. It just feels good to understand this concept and be able to pass it on. So I hope you enjoyed this. You can see the disclaimers, but I'll say I'm not a lawyer. You're not my client. This is not legal advice. I'm not a law professor. I'm not going to teach you the law. If you want to learn the law, go to law school. That's what law school's for. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Thank you. Right, so we've come to the embarrassing part of the presentation. I guess this is where I'm supposed to start, begging like an R&B singer, just asking you to come back. Baby, please like and share this video. Subscribe to my channel. Just don't leave me. Come back, baby. I'll do right. I'll wash the dishes. Baby, just don't leave me. Yeah, it's a little cheesy, whatever. But please like and share this video. I hope it was beneficial. Subscribe to the channel so you'll be notified when new content drops, and follow me on Instagram, The Mass Law Student. The link will be in the description of this video. But again, just think of me as an R&B singer, and I'm just telling you, baby, just stay. Come back and see me again, baby. I'll clean the room. I'll do the dishes, whatever. But just, baby, I need you back. I'm just messing with y'all. But thank you for tuning into this. And I look forward to having more videos up, and hopefully you'll enjoy.